Hi, my name is Lissette, and this is my Happy Joints, Happy Body Mobility Flow. All you need to practice is a mat or somewhere soft, and perhaps something for your knees. If balance is a challenge for you, you can set up a chair nearby, or you can set up next to a piece of furniture that's sturdy. So if you need to go get a chair or reposition your setup, do that now. And you can pause the video and come back. This practice is good for people of all fitness levels. It really helps performance, but it also really helps to decrease stiffness, to get the aches out, because we're moving the lymphatic system and we're hydrating the joints. Let's begin the practice standing at the front of our mat in Tadasana. This is the mountain pose, the pose of standing tall in your own space. So the first thing to do is to soften the knees. So we don't want them locked and pushing back. We want them soft. And then you want your hips moving back over the ankles to make sure you can see your midfoot. Lots of people stand resting on their sacrum because their hips are forward. So see if you can see the midfoot. Soften the knees. Unlocking those knees should help you lift up through the middle of your body. Shoulders stack over the hips, and the ear holes stack over the shoulders. Arms reach straight down. Lengthen your spine. And we'll start the practice today by just arriving on our spot and arriving in our bodies. Softly gaze forward or even close your eyes. Let your jaw relax. Let the tongue move away from the teeth. Lengthen your spine. Make sure you're stacked properly. If you're stacked properly, you're going to feel a sense of dignity, a sense of nobility. And so we'll arrive here in this position, here in this shape, and here in this feeling. Notice that you're here to take good care of yourself. And that intention to feel better, try to bring that intention. Don't forget it as we go through this practice today. And perhaps the first stretch of the day will be to take the corners of your mouth and stretch them up into a little smile. There we go. Very good. We'll start by mobilizing the spine. Widen your stance, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And come to have your hands on your thighs like you were in a short stop position. And we're going to back bend and forward bend. So let's start with the forward bend. So curl the tailbone under, pull the belly away from the floor. Shoulders separate as you try to pull the chest away from the floor. Chin to chest, rounding everything. Reverse it. Send the chest through the shoulders, tailbone up to sky. You're back bending here, really trying to lift the chest. Good. Exhale as you curl into cat. Inhale as you extend into cow. And let's go like this. Another 5 times. Try to match the length of your breath with the speed of your movement, so that the beginning of your movement is the beginning of the inhale or exhale, and the end of that movement is the end of your inhale or exhale. And by yoking these two things together, we give the mind something to do other than ruminate. Good. Now come to a flat back. Pull your belly deeply in towards your spine. That'll help you come stand up tall again. Now we'll take a big movement to try to warm up the body, also activating the slings that extend and fold the body. So the right leg is back, the left leg is forward, and you're on 2 separate tracks. And I like to think of this exercise as something like throwing a ball, like a pitcher. So here it is in slow motion. First, we're going to set up, we're going to wind up that ball, right? We're going to reach back. It's a slight twist, but really this arm is reaching. Belly pulls in. We feel the stretch along the lateral line up through the inside of the head, all the way to the palm. Reach, then bend both knees. Bow forward as you also move diagonally towards the left side of your left foot, right towards the pinky of the left foot. Reverse it. Come on up. Wind up that pitch. And exhale. As you throw, you're going to the outside of the left knee. And now we do that on the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Don't analyze it too much, but definitely try to reach and curl belly into spine. One more. Good. Okay, that was that. And then we'll switch sides. Just a quick little warm up there. So now the left leg is back, right? We're feeling steady, or you're holding on to something. And we've got our imaginary ball, and we're winding up here. We're stretching the left side. So left side, all through the armpit, reaching through the arm. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, bow forward, come to the outside of the right leg, maybe even to the right pinky toe, and reverse it. Inhale, and exhale, bow forward. Inhale, stretch back, reach, and forward. Good. When you reach, pull your belly in. Exhale, pull your belly in. Lots of abdominals to help stabilize. Good. So you can activate your abdominals because you're going to breathe diaphragmatically, which is a little bit higher than the navel. Good. One more time. Nice. Okay, just a little waking up there. We're going to start stretching the side of the hip. Sometimes people have a lot of pain, a lot of stiffness in the side of their hip. So what we'll do is listen carefully. We're going to take the left foot forward, cross it over the right. The action is going to be bending the left knee. And as we bend the left knee, we're also going to be sending the hip to the right. So try that. Send the hip to the right. Bend the left knee. Hold there. And then we're going to add on this twist. Right shoulder turns counterclockwise to the left. So this is that final stretch position. And then we're going to make this a little bit more of a flow. So bend the knee, press the hip, and twist. And come back up. Good. And the more you send that right hip back, the more you reach long with your torso, the more you'll feel it on the outer hip, maybe the IT band there. Again, we're hydrating, right? So this is the action of squeezing the muscle and releasing the muscle. One more time. We're going to do the same. Don't change your legs. Legs stay the same. We're going to pretend we're against a wall. Same action with the left leg. Same action with the hip. So the left knee bends and send your hip to the right. But instead of twisting, just go completely against this imaginary wall and lean to the left. You should feel a stretch. Come up about halfway and then go back into the stretch. So we're up and stretch and up and stretch. That's it. So we're using the muscle to stand up. Then we're stretching the muscle and opening the hip and the joint. This is the action of squeezing and hydrating. Let's do 3 more. And this you can do at your desk. You don't have to have a whole 45-minute thing to do this, right? You could do this anytime. Very good. We'll switch sides. So, right leg is in front. Then it crosses the midline towards the left and plant it towards the left. Not such a big step. Okay? Remember that right knee is the one that's going to bend. We're going to start with the left. The left hip moves to the left. Okay? And then we're going to twist clockwise. Left shoulder. As you shift to the left, hips go left, shoulder goes into a twist. And come back up and twist. Because it's really, not just the joint, but fascia connects your whole body. Your whole body is connected by fascia. And just because you feel irritation or agitation in one spot, probably means that somewhere along that fascial line, something else is not right. So we try to stretch the whole line. And by twisting now, we're continuing the line up the back. Okay, how about, I don't know, 2 more? Good. Now we do the same thing, but imagining we're against a wall. So start by finding the stretch, side bend. Okay, don't come forward. Stay against this wall. Then come up halfway and back into the stretch. Okay? So organize yourself, shape yourself in such a way that you can do this, that it feels okay. You're never going into pain. You're never trying to go too far. There's no reason for that. That's not going to relieve pain. That actually can cause some micro tears that will later cause pain. Good, so we're just going along this imaginary wall. How about 3 more? Yeah. Good, and we'll come up out of that. And I'll turn around so you can see the profile. We again have our legs hip width apart and we're standing in that dignified posture. We can see the midfoot. Okay? And now we're going to bow forward. And what I want you to do is keep your chest up so that you're actually extending your back a little bit even though you fold. Because a lot of people will round when they fold. I want to avoid that. So I like to imagine that I have a beautiful pendant, or maybe you just won a medal and you want to show it off as you fold forward. So here, or maybe a nice tie, a new tie. So as you fold forward, your knees are unlocked. You send your hips back behind you. They move away from your head as you send your chest up to shine this pendant forward. Okay? And keep your back. It's going to feel like it's in a back bend, but it's actually just straight and good posture. Lengthen the back of your neck, so you're probably looking at the floor. Make sure that the ears are over the shoulders and the head isn't sinking towards the floor. Pull those ears back. I want you to go to the point where you feel a hamstring stretch, but not a 100% stretch, maybe 50 to 80%. Hold here. Arms reach out like airplane arms. Activate your back muscles. Keep your chest up high. Maybe you're thinking you're a table and you don't want this bowl of soup on your back to fall. So we're going to bend and straighten the knees. Bend both knees, and as you do, your torso will move in one piece. It'll just lower, and then straighten your legs. Your spine won't move. It'll just lower down like you're in an elevator. Good. And so when you come to straightening the legs out, again, don't go to a 100, and certainly don't go to injury. Keep yourself very aware and in that spirit of self-care. Okay, a couple of more times. You might hear some cracks and creaks. That's okay. Belly is lifted. Hey, you're getting a bonus back workout. Look at that. Okay, keep your spine straight. Pull your belly in tightly and lift to come up. Reach the arms up overhead and bring the hands down to side. Now it's the time for us to get on the knees. So here's where you can get that blanket or pillow or cushion or whatever, okay? Also, here's a time where you might want to use a chair for balance, or you can get a bonus balance challenge. We're going to have the back leg completely vertical, not at an angle. It's totally straight coming out of the hip. 90-degree bend at the knee. Also, a 90-degree bend, left hip and torso. 90 degrees here. That's important. When we do a hip flexor stretch hanging on our joint. It doesn't relieve pain. Again, you're pulling it at the very end range of motion, so it doesn't really relieve pain, doesn't heal, doesn't hydrate. It just stretches it. We're here to mobilize, to hydrate, to move things, toxins out of the joint. So come to 90-90. Find your hips and lower your left hip. So if it was high, you're going to lower the left hip so they're level. And then take your tailbone as if you had a tail and tuck it underneath you. What that should have done is activate your right glute and your right hamstring. We want to activate the opposite side of what we're stretching. So squeeze your right glute, squeeze your hamstring, level the hips. You should feel it now. Hopefully you feel some activation between the right, let's say, lower ribs, down the thigh. Hands on the left leg, and we're just going to lock the hips like this. Lock the glutes and shift forward and backwards. We're shifting forward and backwards. It's like a massage for this entry point where this long muscle meets the thigh bone. It's just like a massage. It's a little back and forth. This is a really, really, really good exercise. Just this back and forth shifting is alone really, really helpful. Okay, make sure that your glute squeezed, your hamstring is squeezed. Really activate there. And then slow it down. And then come upright. Both arms reach overhead. Inhale. Now send your elbows behind you as you back bend. It feels like you're a flower opening up. And then reverse that motion. Cross your arms in front of you, round the spine, belly in. Again, open, back bend, arms reach out to the side, squeeze your glute, and curl forward. Continue to squeeze your glute. Good. Make sure your hips are level. That's a lot to think about. But you know, the more often you practice, you'll find it, you'll get it. You'll increase your body intelligence. Isn't that cool? One more time. This is opening up the top of that muscle, especially on that back bend. Okay, one more time. Hold this back bend. Reach the arms up. Really reach the arms up. Level the spine. Good. And now your spine is super tall right over your hips. Neck is long. Ears are over the shoulders. Reach your arms to where they can go. We're going to side bend to the left as much as feels good. Try to drop your left hip, squeeze your glutes, side bend to the left, come up halfway, and bend again to the left. Come up halfway, bend to the left. Again, so we're going to shift in and out of this side bend. Let's do about 5 more. Good. This is a really big muscle that contracts when we're under threat or stress. Good, and release. Sometimes it contracts, just the initiation of the contraction. You know, you don't go into a full curl, but just the initiation of that contraction can stay and linger all day. And then you wonder why you have back pain. So we're going to release it. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hamstring, level the hips. Now we're going to rotate the torso around to the left. So rotate torso to the left, stretch your arms, come back to center. Again, rotate to the left, stretch your arms, keep your glutes contracted. Try to level those hips. Good. We're getting the entire length of the muscle this way, especially reaching that front arm. 2 more. Really reach, squeeze the opposite muscle. Very good. Excellent. Let's switch sides. Okay, so now it's right foot forward. Probably fewer directions because now you know what you're doing. You can put the toes tucking under on the back foot for more stability. We're at 90-90. Hips are level. So we're going to drop that right hip. And then instead of letting the belly hang out, We're actually, the muscle's contracted in there. See, that's squished in there. We're going to open up this space right here. Tailbone tucks under. Activate left glute. Activate, squeeze the left glute. Squeeze your left hamstring. Lower the right hip. Getting a little butt workout along with mobility. Isn't that great? So I've just created some space here. Good. Now we're going to do that little shifting and pulsing forward. Really try to level the hips. Try to squeeze the glute and the hamstring on the left leg, the back leg. And we're just rocking, rocking, rocking. You're stabilizing your hips this way. This is a little more effort than you would do, let's say, if you were walking around, but it's still good practice. Let's do a couple of more. It's hot in my room. Sweating. Okay. Slow it down. Good. Reach the arms up, lock your pelvis under, squeeze the glute and the hamstring. Now back bend as you open your arms, lift the chest towards the ceiling, and then come around forward, round the spine, belly moves back, tailbone is still tucked. Reverse. Thoracic spine reaching, and then thoracic spine forward folding. So what you're essentially doing in this back and forth movement is you're moving on top of your hips. Your hips aren't moving. Your thoracic spine is moving. The top of this muscle really affects the thoracic spine as well. Okay, we're almost done here. Good. Stay here in your back bend. Reach the arms up to sky. As you reach them up, lift your torso to be regular, vertical, right over the hips, ears back over the shoulders. Side bend to the right. Come up halfway. Side bend to the right. Come up halfway. Side bend to the right. Come up halfway. So, when we do these mobility classes, lots will be revealed to you. Lots will be revealed to you, like shoulder mobility, right? Hip mobility. The strength to hold yourself in balance. Let's do one more. And the more and more you come, the more mobile you get, the ability to move. Let's twist to the right. As you twist to the right, right hip down, left glute squeezes, left arm stretches, turn your chest. And back to center on an exhale. Inhale, open up wide, stretch. Exhale, center. Inhale, open up wide, reach, reach, reach. Good. Stretching the entire length of the muscle now. Good. One more time. Reach, stretch, and come back around. Very good. Okay. So we're going to kneel just like this and have our hands on the floor in front of us. We're going to get away from the hips a little bit, just work the shoulders a tiny bit. Imagine this long bone that goes into your shoulder joint, and you're going to, both arms at the same time, you're going to try to roll that bone in its socket and then let it go. Roll it in its socket and let it go. We'll do both at the same time. So the inner crease of the elbow is spinning forward as you spin the top of that bone backwards, chest lifts. Maybe you feel the scapula squeezing, your shoulder blade squeezing a little bit, and then let it go. Squeeze, rotate the arm as much as you can, and let it go. A little trick here is to try to not let your knuckles come off the floor. Keep your knuckles in contact with the floor. Another trick is to not hyperextend your lower back. Pull the belly in. Hold the belly in as you do it. Rotate the whole arm bone in the socket. So this is going to train your shoulders, with enough practice, to come down away from the ears and to move back in the socket where they're supposed to be. Right? I've got super tight shoulders. And I have to do this all the time. I'm still working on it. Getting better. All right, good. Let's stay like this. I'm going to move the blanket out of the way just momentarily. Keep it within reach. Legs get really wide. Big toes together. It's like child's pose in the back. But here we're going to reach the arms really far forward as you can. We'll do some spinal circles. So press your spine to the right. Keep it to the right as you come forward. And then center up. Maybe you get longer here. Maybe you can twist your spine as you go left. And then send it back to the left and in the center. So go ahead, make big circles with your spine. The key here is to loosen your joints. Loosen those elbows, loosen the neck, loosen the shoulders. What we're trying to do is move the spine in 3 planes. We're trying to twist the spine. We're trying to move side to side. And we're trying to move front and back. And you might even feel a little bit in your inner thighs. Isn't that a nice little bonus? Good. Once you get to the back, pause, change direction. Again, see how much can you let your elbows just kind of soften. This is your expression. It's not going to look like mine. It's whatever your body wants to do, changes every day for me. Good. The next time you're back there, stay back there. Good. Let's grab that blankie again. I'm going to face the camera for this one. You stay where you are. So we will take the right leg as though you're going into pigeon, but we're not doing pigeon. And then hands as though you were doing plank. And left leg as though you were doing plank. And we're going to work on mobilizing the thoracic spine, just like we did when we were kneeling. So squeeze your glutes, left hip. I want you to keep your mind on your left hip. Your left hip is going to want to drop in this exercise, but I want you to try to keep it up. And I want you to try to keep your hips steady. Right arm, pick up your right hand. We're going to reach it towards the ceiling. Thoracic spine, right at the mid-back, is turning. You're turning clockwise, reaching your chest to the right, arm all the way to the ceiling. Keep your left hip up. Maybe push into your back foot a little more. Push the floor away with your left hand. Reach. That's the feeling you're looking for. And then the opposite. Rotate, curl that torso. Rotate your torso to the left. It comes into that space behind the arm. And if you can take your left elbow and keep it straight and reach more with your right hand, you'll get a stretch in the back left shoulder. Let's put that together at a good pace. Inhale, reach to sky. Exhale, curl under and stretch. Inhale, reach to sky. Keep your left hip high and curl under. Keep your hips level. Really straighten that back leg. Straighten the left arm. You want to activate every muscle you've got right now that's involved in this pose. Good. One more time. We'll hold it at the top. Lift your chest high. Try to become very noble here and regal. Yes. Good. And so set your legs back onto the mat or the blanket. And now it's right leg out to the side. And plant your right foot down. The toes point towards the front. Okay, towards your front. And you're going to rise up on that back knee. Let's make sure that this left thigh is completely vertical and that your right ankle is in line with your knee. This is gate pose, Parigasana, but we're going to move, again, on an imaginary wall here. So we're going to reach the left arm up and bend towards that extended leg. Keep the chest high, lift through the ribs, stretch the arm, stretching that side line. Taking the opposite direction, you can stop right here, or you can try to reach the floor and really stretch. And stretching ankle all the way to the fingertips. And let's swing. We come up and over towards the leg. And then we bend away from the leg. It's an exhale to come up. Really stretch. Get the most out of this time. And don't forget your intention is to feel better. You're going to open up and let all that garbage out, right? Toxins, emotions. Now pick one of these directions and hold it. You can hold it towards the leg, or you can hold it away from the leg. Whatever you like, hold it. Extend your spine, become really long. Good. Pull your belly in to come up. Nice. Adjust. Okay, we're going to take the right foot and we're going to turn the toes to the side and bring that foot back in so that now we have a 90-degree angle as though we're in lunge here at the right leg. And what we're going to do is we're going to stretch the groin. This is the funky little way to stretch the groin, but I really like it. So lean, so shift to the right and allow this left leg to abduct. And as you do, you can add, if this is enough, you can just keep your hands here or on a chair. But if you'd like, you can add reaching up, almost like we're doing crescent. So now the stretch is here in that back leg, possibly in the inner thigh, the front leg. Reach up and stretch. And now shift to the back or to the left, flex your foot, and keep yourself sliding against an imaginary wall and reach. Stretch the back of the leg. Isn't that fun? Okay, back and forth. We're stretching. It's a very kind of sideways orientation. That's how I like to think about it. Like I'm against a wall. Okay. Good, a couple of more. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's just moving. It's just feeling good. Part of it is feeling good. You know? Maybe it feels like you're dancing or something. I don't know. Make it feel good. All right, we're going to do all this on the other side. So now we come down to plank hands. Left leg comes into what would look like a pigeon. Right leg into plank. Really push into that back heel. Straighten that right leg a lot. Focus on your right hip and make sure that right hip doesn't sink, because it likes to sink when we turn. Also, the shoulder likes to sink. Right hip up. Right arm nice and straight and supporting. And here we go. We take the left arm to sky. Hold here so you know what you're going for. Lift up your right hip. Push the floor away with your right hand. Left arm reaching. Twist. Press into the back heel. This is your end position. Good. Now the opposite. Curl. Keep your right arm straight and stretch enough that maybe you feel it in the right shoulder. And go at your own breath pace. As you turn to reach the ceiling, it's an inhale. And as you curl through, it's an exhale. And again, keep your hips steady. Your hips are what helps you with balance a ton. So if you can learn how to move your upper body on stable hips, well, that's going to help you a lot. Okay. One more here. Hold this last one. Again, push into your back heel. Press the floor away. Lift your chest. Ears over the shoulders. Twist and hold. Excellent. Good. Come back, your knees back onto that blanket. Lift up onto your legs. Sending that left leg out into gate, where the ankle is in line with the knee and the leg here is vertical. So again, we're going to lift up the right side, stretch, activate muscle to lift up to the sky, lengthen, and then bow over. And then reverse, lifting the left arm up. You could stay here, or you can try to reach the floor and stretch. Super long line on the left side. Again, up we go. Bowing over to the left, and then reversing. Trying to stay on this sideways plane of motion, as though you're sliding against a wall. Try not to rotate the spine. And you're getting a little bonus abdominal workout here. Isn't that good? Choose which one you're going to hold. You can hold the upright one, or you can hold a long stretched one. You choose. We're holding, we're breathing. Activate all the muscles in your arm. Try to touch the wall. Pull your belly in to come all the way upright. Good. Then we're going to turn that left foot and we're going to work the inner groin here. So shift over to the left. You can stay with your arms like this, or you can add a little lateral bend. Now shift your hips to the right and keep going to the right. Flex the left foot. Stay sideways. See if you can reach towards that toe. And back and forth like this. Yeah. It's not too often that you find yourself in this shape. Right? But the body loves, it just loves to be in different shapes. All different shapes that you can think of. You know, a lot of exercises didn't come out of some magical book. It was people just moving their bodies, feeling free and open enough to explore. Well, close my eyes there. Feeling free and open enough to explore different shapes. Okie dokie. We're going to come around. I'm moving this blanket off the mat. I lost my hair tie. I don't know where it went. Okay. Hands and knees. We're pressing into downward facing dog. However, we're going to press into it with bent knees. So lift up your belly, which lifts your hips. Shift your way back. And bend the knees deeply. Straighten the arms as much as you can. Remember that thing that we did with the shoulders where we rolled the crease of the elbow forward? Do that here as best as you can. And then keep pressing yourself back on bent knees. Very good. Bend the knees a little bit more, then try to straighten the legs. Bend the knees and try to straighten the legs. And do so like this a few times. Yeah, so just working the calf especially. And maybe for you it's also hamstrings. And if that's the case, you know, don't ever go to where your back's going to start rounding and you're compromising. Right? Stay bent. Maybe you just have to be in the bent range. That's okay. Good. We're going to come down to the belly. Yeah. Ooh. Arms are in cobra. So that means that your thumbs are at your chest height. And your elbows are squeezed back. And your shoulders are pulled down. So it's a little lock. Feels like a little bit you're stabilizing here in the upper shoulders, upper back. Legs long. What we're going to try to do here is bend the right knee up towards the right elbow. It slides along the floor. As you press, twist and look back towards your feet. You know? And then down again. Let's do it up again. And try to make that one flowing motion. So again, here we are mobilizing this shape. The ability to look behind you, right, for the spine to move freely, and talk about lubricating this hip, huh? Little bonus arm workout. Okay, switch sides. So, left knee slides up the mat towards the left elbow. At the same time, you're pressing up and twisting back behind you to look back there, and then straighten back down. And match those to happen at the same time. Exhale, And inhale. Good. You got 2 more to go. Nice. Good. Come to tabletop and just hold yourself in tabletop for a moment. Good. Big toes together. Knees wide apart. Sit back on your heels. If your buttocks don't reach the heels, take that blanket or a pillow and you can rest on the blanket or pillow. If your forehead doesn't reach the floor, it's really important that the neck releases in this position so we can stack the fists and put the forehead on the fists. I want you to find some position where you can completely let your neck relax. Now, I've got tight shoulders, so in all honesty, if I'm really using my body intelligence, my neck isn't totally relaxed like this. I've got to put my arms more like in cactus to completely relax my neck. Ah. And now you can breathe so deep that when you inhale, your belly fills. It fills the space between your legs. And when you exhale, you can feel your belly lift up towards your spine to expel the air. Shoulders relaxed. Let your eyes soften. See if you can feel yourself breathing in your rib cage as though you had gills. And if you're doing it right, you might even feel that your lumbar spine expands on your inhale. I almost imagine it's like a little belt or a hula hoop. As I inhale, the entire hoop expands. And rest here. Good. Slowly press yourself up. Swing your legs around. And sit cross-legged. If sitting cross-legged is really difficult, there are many options. You can put some blankets underneath each thigh, or you can, which is my favorite, sit on the blanket. I mean, even an inch can help. So you can sit in any way. You can sit absolutely crisscross, like a traditional crisscross, or you can sit, with my sweat, or you could sit, whatever works for you. Nice tall spine, ears back over the shoulders, belly in, feeling dignified. And then take a big inhale here, and exhale, just turn to the right, keep your chest high. And then you can turn your head, make sure your shoulders are going down, and even take your eyeballs all the way to your right. Take your eyeballs all the way to the right. Why not stretch your little eyeballs? Okay. And good. Come around center. Other side. Turning to your left now. First, get dignified. First, pull your belly in. Drop both shoulders. Then turn your head. Then take your eyeballs to the left. All the way. All the way to the left corner of your eyes. What do you see back there? Breathe deeply. Stay dignified. Come around center. Arms reach overhead on a big inhale. Exhale, bring a prayer right down to the heart. And hold here for a moment. Our last and final stretch. again, is to bring the corners of your mouth up just a little bit, right? In a little bit of a smile. It's kind of a little secret smile. You know something. And what you know is gratitude. You are so grateful for your body. Again, deep breath in and a slow breath out. Soften the eyes. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. Thank you. And I thank you for joining me today. I teach several classes a week, and I vary my classes, the content of the classes, enough so that your body can experience all different movements and shapes. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.